Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Carmen Bryant, and this is Car Chronicles, but I'm not doing Car Chronicles. Today is Sunday, and you guys know that I usually come on live, but my conference is coming up on Saturday the 29th, which is this coming Saturday. And I wanted to remind you guys that I'll be selling tickets up until Thursday. So cutoff for tickets is on Thursday. And those of you that think you can't afford it, I'm telling you, email me and see what kind of surprise I may have available for you to make sure that you get to the conference. I have a nice little crowd that's going to be there. I'm so excited because I have some dynamic speakers that are going to be in this conference. And we're going to be talking about things like generational trauma, intergenerational trauma. I mean, some of you guys are living, off of the words of what has been said to you, even in childhood. People have said things to you and, you're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid, where does that come from? And the thing about it is if you go back generation, you find out that this is just a pattern that has, progressed forward. This is how they discipline their children. This is how they talk. They talk crazy to their kids, so you talk crazy to your kids, and you're not supposed to be talking crazy to your kids, but that's all you know. That's how you talk. You talk crazy to your kids, or you put your kids out at a young age. How you put your kids out? Your kids ain't got nowhere to go. We're not even leaving any legacy for our children. What about this? If you do a genogram or a family tree on your family, you can see, those people that had abortions, those people that put their kids up for adoption, those people that abuse their kids, those people that have CPS called, people that have had their children taken out of the home. Trauma is something that changes your DNA. Believe it or not, trauma changes your DNA, your genetic makeup, and it passes on from generation to generation. What about those of you that have suffered at the hands of an adult, whether it was a parent, but you suffered at the hands of an adult and you were, sexually violated at a very young age? How do you think about relationships? What do you think about relationships? Do you know that I have had some LGBTQ clientele? And I'm not saying this is all of them in general, but I've had women say that I would never be with a man because they were violated by a man. And they said that besides the person that violated them, they had never been with a man, never want to be with a man. It grosses them out. It makes them sick to their stomach because it's a constant reminder of what has happened to them in childhood. You've had men that were violated by men, and they have never had an experience with a woman. They said they don't want to have an experience with a woman because that is what they were introduced to. Then you have men that have been violated by women and have become very abusive. And not only have they become very abusive, but they were making all women pay for the pain and suffering that they went through at the hands of the female abuser. Or some of them don't want to have anything to do with a female, or some of them have something to do with females, but they never had healthy relationships. What about those fathers that are teaching their sons? This comes, you going back into slavery where they're teaching their sons not to have emotions or feelings for the woman that they love, or don't express your emotions because the emotions was used as a weakness by, the slave owners, by the master. If they found out that you loved, the wife or the children that you had, not only were your children ripped, were the children ripped out of the hands of the father or the mother, but the fact that if they knew that they were in love with this person, they would use that to injure them even more. So what was the dialogue between these fathers and these sons that carried on into this generation where they're having problems connecting with, romantically or having intimacy with women, because of the fact that they've been taught not to be intimate, not to have emotions because it's not going to last? What is the dialogue that is running through their head? But we're going to be talking about trauma. This is going to be a phenomenal conference. You guys don't want to miss it. I'm going to be there. My sister, Bridget Griffin, who is a domestic violence advocate, who's going to talk about, being re-traumatized within the courtroom. My big sister, Kathy Gibson, is going to be there. My Life is Intentional. Phenomenal encourager, and talks to the women about their value and their worth. I have a newcomer. Her name is Dr. Paula Tucker. She's going to be with us. She is a medical professional, and she specializes in traumatic brain injury. She does traumatic brain injury research, and she's going to be coming to you about trauma and abuse, and what happens to your brain, what happens to you medically. And of course, my mother's going to be there, Apostle Helen Sadler. You don't want to miss her. Phenomenal, dynamic woman. and it's your destiny helper. And then after she's finished talking, you're going to have people like Tell Show with the T on MPD. You hear that laugh, you get to see her face when she's laughing. And the way that she laughs, that's the way that she looks when she laughs. Just a happy-go-lucky person, beautiful heart, beautiful person on the inside and out. And just so much fun to be around. Tasha Leland, such a dynamic, inspirational, phenomenal young woman. Encourager, has been through, the abuses like all of us have. But a dynamic, phenomenal speaker, just a beautiful person at heart, just a wonderful, that's my little sister, and just a phenomenal, wonderful person, and you're going to hear them talk. You even get to see, Cluster Be Free. She's going to be joining us and watching, and whatever Apostle Helen Sadler wants to do at the very end with her table talk. That's usually on Tuesdays when she has her clubhouses. The people that are usually speakers there, she's going to have us there to do the round table talk where we can talk about what you want to talk about, because we're going to unpack trauma. We're going to talk about the trauma. Why you think the way that you think? Why, what has this pain and suffering done to you? How have you suffered all this time? Listen, it's going to be a breakthrough. And when I say a breakthrough, just bring your tissues when you're on Zoom. So this is going to be a Zoom event. I was going to do it in California, but a lot of you just prefer to do it online. No problem with me. Saves us some money over there. But so we decided to do it online and on Zoom instead. And so listen, I put this voting thing out so you can vote and tell me where you want to be next year. So far, Atlanta has won. Atlanta is in the lead. So I will be back in Atlanta. And I told you guys that, I may just make it my home port, Atlanta and Dallas, make it my two home ports, and just travel back and forth from Atlanta to Dallas, and if you guys want me to come anywhere else, you guys may just have to send for me. You're going to have to send for me. But, I haven't been on lives lately because I'm revamping my program. I'm revamping my program. I'm changing some things. And so you guys hang in there as I'm coming up with new innovative ways to reach you, talk to you, because you guys got to get a lot of meat. You guys come on, you get a lot of meat. And so a lot of times there's no reason for you to come see me, because of the fact you get a lot of that information right there on YouTube. But I'm going to be doing some changes and some things, so that you guys can come and see me when I come to your city. If you call me to your city, then come on out there to the city. Hey, call me as a speaker. If you want to know how to bring me into your local area, you want me to come speak at your churches, you want me to come speak at your events, you want me to come speak at domestic violence programs for the women. I am an advocate for the women. I'm an advocate for everyone, because I know men can be abused as well, but my specialization is women. I'm a woman, so I understand, but I understand that men get abused just like women get abused. And we're going to be talking about that at the conference as well. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. I'm excited about this coming up weekend on Saturday. And now I'm going to get out of the Car Chronicle car, and I'm going to go inside and take off the war paint so I can lay down and relax. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope, some of you guys will get this tomorrow. Hope you have a beautiful week. Enjoy your week. I love you guys. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, and go be great.